Hi, and welcome to Footprints. I'm Wu Jia. The Seniors' Day in China is celebrated this year on Monday, the 9th day of the 9th lunar month. In Nantong, a mid-sized city a 2-hour drive to the northwest of Shanghai in the rich Yangtze River Delta, this festival for seniors is becoming increasingly significant as Nantong tops the list of China's 149 deeply aging cities, where the proportion of the population aged over 65 exceeds 14%.
You'd find that almost all those you see on the streets are elderly people.
A lot of folks here are in their 90s and older.
Nantong is famous for the longevity of its residents. Indeed, we have a large proportion of seniors.
According to the National Health Commission, nearly 1/3 of Nantong's 7.7 million people are 60 and older. The degree of aging is more than 10% higher than the country's average. CGTN Radio reporters visited the city and explored how the oldest city in the country is taking care of its senior citizens. Here we bring you Aging in China, the story of Nantong.
We arrived in Nantong on a bullet train, and the first thing we noticed is the large number of senior care facilities. Nantong has more than 300 nursing institutions of different kinds to cope with its aging challenges. The anxious 82-year-old Wu Chong stands by the bedside of his wife, who has pneumonia, when nurses try to clear phlegm from her throat.
I hope she can hold on so that I can continue to look after her. I love her so much. Who will take care of her if I die first? But if her time comes before I do, how shall I face what lies ahead? Though I have relatives, the sense of loneliness would only grow stronger.
The grandma has severe Alzheimer's disease and is disabled.
Du Yan is the director of 3 nursing institutions, including the small care facility embedded in the community where Wu Chong and his wife live. She says they have teamed up with a local hospital to offer their customers quick access to medical treatment. Du says nursing institutions play the crucial role of providing senior care and support, especially to those with serious health conditions.
If both seniors live in their own home, it's very likely that the healthier one would wear down from taking care of the disabled partner.
In retrospect, Wu Chong says he was totally at a loss and didn't know what to do when his wife fell ill, until they moved to Du Yan's care home.
We've been staying here for about 8 months. I believe I made the right decision. It's not bad living here. I've gradually realized that I no longer need to worry too much.
Wu's case is typical of many elderly couples in China. For them, sending the disabled partner to a nursing facility is the last resort when taking care of their loved one at home turns out to be a mission impossible.
It's impossible to rely just on me to take care of her anymore. Both my son and his wife also have health problems. My granddaughter is still very young. Who can take care of us?
The care facility Wu and his wife chose is within walking distance of where their son's parents-in-law live. Wu says he visits them every day and feels less lonely and dislocated. Small nursing institutions built in residential communities like this have been burgeoning over the years in Nantong. Nantong Health Commission reviews that by the end of last year, the city has a total of 312 registered nursing homes. Though the number is nearly half of that in Shanghai, The latter's population is 3 times as large. Nurse Wu Huimin is doing her routine checkup in one of the care homes. The young woman of the so-called post-90s generation is a rare young face in the senior care business. In Nantong, over 65% of the caregivers are above the age of 50.
After my routine checkup in the morning, the seniors would do whatever they like in the nursing home. Sometimes I find them sitting at the door and looking outside. I assume they are looking forward to visits by their children.
A white paper jointly released earlier this year by Dajia Insurance Group and Nielsen IQ shows that 44% of the elderly people in China, including those who live on their own and in care homes, hope that their children can visit them frequently.
No matter how good services we provide, it cannot replace the love and care of their children.
Living close to family and friends is the most important need of the elderly. Although senior care facilities have developed rapidly in China, staying at one's own home is still the choice for most elderly. According to the provincial government website, there are an estimated 200,000 seniors with disabilities in Nantong, and most of them live at home. To offer them better care, the local government purchased in-home services from nursing institutions as part of its welfare program. Du Yan's colleague Liu Shuping leads her team in providing in-home care to help seniors stay independent while staying within their physical comfort zone.
Yep, I know. You'd like to stay clean and tidy. Let's wipe it first.
82-year-old Huang Yifeng has been bedridden for years as a result of pelvic fracture. Her husband, Zheng Yunzhang, looks after her.
The caregivers would come every Monday and Thursday afternoon. They're always on time, and they help to wash her face, bath, and trim her toenails. They take better care of her than I do.
In-home services offered by professional nursing institutions are getting popular as Nantong piloted the long-term care insurance for its senior citizens. Under this program, the service is offered to seniors with disabilities twice a week, 1.5 hours each time. Liu Shuping says the seniors pay 5 yuan or less than $1 for each service. The rest is covered by insurance.
You may have noticed that Grandma Huang calls my colleagues daughters. The relationship between us can feel as close as family members.
Liu admits that home care service is getting increasingly popular.
A nursing institution is not the first choice for most seniors. With the expansion of in-home services, elderly people have realized that such services are designed not only for the bedridden, but also for those who are subhealthy.
Liu shares her thoughts on what customized care services would look like in the future.
It will be smarter. Visual telephones will be installed to connect local communities with nursing facilities. Senior citizens would simply make a phone call when they have needs. We won't disturb or intervene in their normal lives, but we stand by 24/7.
Yu Hao, an official from Nantong Civil Affairs Bureau, says, so far, 35 nursing institutions have been set up in residential communities in Nantong.
They offer a wide range of services and support, from daytime care to accommodation and entertainment.
China's last census figure released in May 2021 shows that there are 260 million people aged over 60 in the country, making up about 19% of its total population. According to the National Health Commission, nationwide, 97% of elderly people live at home or rely on assisted living services in their local communities. Only 3% choose to move to nursing homes.
实际的工作过程中，我们也发现，就是远远应该是大于97%的。
In Nantong, the number of seniors choosing to stay at home is even higher than that figure. Here, we have about 2.4 million elderly people. Only 20,000 of them choose to live in nursing homes. Among them, most have disabilities or dementia.
社区应该居家养老应该是今后发展的一个重点。
One of our major tasks is to build more assisted living facilities in the local communities.
Professor Lu Jiehua, a sociologist from Peking University, points out that population aging poses a big challenge for the country as a whole.
那么像法国，老龄化是世界上最早的。
Population aging started in some European countries like France and Germany in the 19th century, while China began the process in 2000. But the speed of aging in our country is faster.
其实我们处一个快速的一个老龄化的一个过程。
Actually, it's quite fast. By 2050, the number of people aged 60 and above could exceed 500 million in China. The demographic challenge will only intensify when combined with record low fertility rate. A major concern is that we have started to get old before we have gotten wealthy.
然后呢，就是从现在呢，2020年。
From now on to 2035, our population will be getting old at an even faster speed, as baby boomers born between 1963 and 1975 join the elderly group. Compared to other generations, most of them have only one child.
比如养老金的问题，比如经济发展的活力的问题。
This will have profound impacts on our pension system, on the economy, as well as on the sustainability of the labor force. Whether our senior care system can meet the basic demand and spiritual needs of the elderly group remains a question.
将来可能是我们应对老龄化最困难的。
We will face a very difficult time soon. Everybody should get prepared for the retirement of the baby boomers.
Lu Jiehua says Nantong has a head start in this regard.
他还是做了很好的超前的一种准备。
The city did a lot to prepare for an aging society at a much earlier time. Other cities can learn from its experience.
In addition to the construction of more nursing facilities, Nantong has adopted a range of preferential policies to support its business practices to mitigate the challenge of demographic shift.
它的社会资本介入到养老服务体系也是。
It has attracted a lot of private investments. Large companies in the sector have been running well. In addition, a network of neighborhood caring facilities and in-home service providers has joined to meet the demand.
Nantong is also among the first batch of cities to test long-term care insurance for the elderly. Under this policy, seniors with disabilities at nursing institutions receive subsidies to cover half of their nursing bills, while those living at home get weekly home care service.
I think moving into a nursing home is the only choice for us.
My father has pressure ulcers from a stroke. My mother cannot take care of him all by herself. So we send him to a nursing home.
他有个思想上的理念就是养老院就是
The older generation doesn't want to go to a nursing home because they feel that they would be looked down upon like they've been abandoned by their children. But we are more open-minded. We will definitely go to a nursing home when we are old.
But it's not uncommon for seniors in care centers to feel lonely and depressed. In-home service provider Liu Shuping says nursing facilities in Nantong have started to give equal importance to support the seniors' spiritual well-being.
The seniors not only need our help with their physical needs, but also their psychological well-being.
There's a university inside the nursing home. Here we learn calligraphy, paper cutting, and folk dance.
"92-year-old Sun Chuan enjoys a fulfilling life at Sunshine Elderly Care, which is home to more than 600 seniors.
We also signed up for modeling class. See, we are very busy here. I don't need others to help me as long as I can handle myself. I don't like what's so-called good-for-nothing style of aging. I always want to learn something new and try my best to make progress."
Sun Chuan needs 8,000 yuan, or roughly $1,100 per month, to cover her bill. But her daughter-in-law Li Minlin knows that living like Sun is a luxury for many others.
To be honest, not everyone can afford to live in such an apartment. A good nursing home also means it's expensive, right?
Nevertheless, a care home is still not the ideal place in Sun Chuan's eyes. She is not satisfied with its medical services.
There is only a small clinic here. We normally go there to get our medicine. But if you need to see a doctor, you still have to go to the hospital. I hope we can have family doctors so that I can make inquiries from time to time.
The COVID-19 pandemic magnified the problem of limited medical resources. Yin Jianfang is in charge of the nursing home where Sun lives.
What we experienced during the outbreak of COVID-19 was epic in my entire career life. We had to do everything possible to pull all kinds of resources from the outside for our elderly residents. It was a really hard time to see through all the difficulties.
Having been engaged in elderly care for a decade, Yin has her own observations of the industry.
Quality care services help relieve the elderly and their families from worrying. Many institutions are ramping up efforts to improve their medical capabilities to provide better services. Others have set up specialized teams to provide entertainment services. The whole industry developed very fast over the past decade. Nantong has built a complete industrial chain.
Talking about the overall development of the city's senior care industry, Yin says the need for improvement goes beyond medical services.
I hope elderly people in nursing homes can live meaningful lives and can always find something new to learn while enjoying the learning process. It's very important that living here not only extends their longevity, but also improves the quality of their lives.
For insiders in the senior care business like Yin Jianfang, another big concern in the development of senior care industry is the serious lack of younger staff and the low wage and social status of frontline workers.
We need to attract more young people and help them gain recognition in our society and increase their salaries.
According to industry data, there are more than 40 million elderly people with disabilities in China, and at least 13 million caregivers are needed to provide them with assistance and support. But the number of registered caregivers across the country is just about 40,000. Professor Lu Jiehua says the problem is not unique to China.
But compared to countries like Japan and Germany, efforts need to be made in China to improve the social status of professional caregivers. Here, workers come from vocational schools, while in Japan, many universities offer courses and degree programs to train professionals for the senior care industry. Japan and Germany have also attracted overseas talents to work in their nursing facilities.
Oh,
32-year-old Huang Lijuan is a manager at Sunshine Nursing Institution, where more than 160 elderly people live. Starting to work as a young caregiver a decade ago, Huang says people's mindset and attitude toward the senior care industry have changed remarkably over the years.
People knew little about this industry 10 years ago. When I went out on a blind date and someone asked what I did for a living, I said I worked in the elderly care industry. They didn't really understand what that meant. Many of my classmates quit doing this job and switched to other professions. Now it's different. Nursing institutions have sprung up all over the country.
However, Huang Yuya from Changshoxing Care Home in Rugao, a small town in the countryside of Nantong, renowned for its number of centenarians, says, compared to the city proper, nursing homes are way less popular in rural areas.
Most of the elderly people here are reluctant to live in nursing homes. They believe it means that they are not far away from death.
Gu Xiufang, director of Changshoxing Care Home, adds that many seniors in rural areas are empty nesters as their children have moved out to work in the city. Gu has set up many small nursing stations in the villages to provide customized services for the rural elderly.
These are small care facilities embedded in local communities. The elderly can come anytime to have fun. When their children are away from home, they can live in these care homes temporarily, maybe for a day or a week or even longer, until their children come back and pick them up.
In a culture where ancestors are worshipped and seniors revered, elderly people are traditionally taken care of by their children. Today, that mentality is still deeply rooted in people's mind, especially for those in the countryside. And this affects their attitude and lifestyle. Yet the country's dramatic demographic shifts and rapidly growing senior care industry have started to impact many people's understanding of retirement, aging, and lifestyle in both cities and the countryside. In the meanwhile, caregivers who have witnessed all the changes believe that they have also been influenced significantly from working in the industry, both professionally and personally. Chen Jia, the younger worker we met at Changshoxing, tells of a touching moment on one workday which has deeply affected her.
We had an old man who had some mental health conditions. He looked very unhappy and would just walk around during the daytime. For more than a year, I never heard him utter a single word to anybody. One day, I brought my child here when he was walking in the yard as usual. Seeing us, he went back to his room and later came back with an apple. Without saying anything, he approached and stuck the apple into my child's hand. I was completely stunned for a moment. After that day, I did my utmost to take care of the old man as if he was one of my folks until he passed away.
To in-home service provider Wu Huimin, patience, empathy, and compassion are all very important qualities for caregivers.
You have to work here for a long time to really understand elderly people, both their physical and mental conditions and needs.
58-year-old Jiang Xiaoyu works at the nursing institution of Sunshine Elderly Care. Together with her husband, she shares Wu Huimin's feelings.
I worked as a nanny for a few years. Before we came to Nantong, my husband and I worked in southern China in hospice care. In an ICU, we used to look after patients who received palliative treatment in their last days. From little babies in the cradle to seniors on their deathbed, I've taken care of them all. I'm proud of my work, and I'm not afraid of death myself anymore. It's such a natural part of life. At the end, we just go back to where we come from.
With that, we conclude this edition of Footprints. Thanks for listening. I'm Ujia. For more episodes, just key in Footprints, and you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.